Okay, welcome to the next episode of Building a Game Box. Today we are going to be talking about putting the games onto the box. What you will need for this part is a pencil, tape, scissors, markers. You could use any other coloring material as you want, but markers work best. And you also want paper. And make sure you have watched the first episode so you have your box covered in paper. If you haven't watched the first episode, I'll put a link for it down in the description. But anyway, if you have not watched the first episode, go ahead and watch it and then come back here and we can go ahead and start putting our games on. Okay, now what you can start out with is your box and your scissors and the paper. So we're going to put these to the side. We're going to take a piece of paper, put it over, and then cut along the edges of the box. So we know that we can cut off this side. Make sure you cut off as straight as possible, so then it'll match the corner right here to get to this side. So we know we can cut off this side. This will help. We'll put the game on top of this, so the marker doesn't have any effect over the tape that's already on there. The reason why we already put paper on there is so it will be a little bit easier for us to match things if it's the same. So we're only going to be starting out with one side, and you will need to have 6 pieces of paper with you to do this to get it all done. And the last side, it'll be thinner. If you did it similarly to the way I did, but make sure that your box was not too big so an entire piece of paper could fit over it. But now that you have your first game side, we will put these strips of paper to the side, these pieces of paper to the side, not this one, and we will also put these scissors to the side. Now what we will do is we will take our pencil and we will figure out which game that we will be doing first. So what I'm thinking is that we will have a little table like that doesn't have any specific game on it to play different games. We will have a chess and we will have some other games. What we're going to start out right now is just the chess. So what we need to do, I completely forgot about this in the info or in the starting part of the video. We need a ruler, so. Okay, so here's a ruler. So let's measure the piece of paper. My piece of paper is, let's see, 8 1/4 inch long, and 6 inches and 6 1/4 inches wide. So what we want to do is we want to take it and then position it where the inch, this part right here, we can put a line about. So we'll put it 1 inch before, so like measure it and then move it. Here, this is a little bit tricky to explain, but measure it, put a mark, and then move it back because it is very close to 1 inch apart. So what we can do is then we can now measure the 6 inches from that point, the 6 1/4 inches, and then put another mark about at the 6th inch, and it will be very close to a real square. So we will have extra sides right here, but that is perfectly fine. It will make it look better. So let's draw a line here. Let's get the ruler. This. And then let's draw another line here. And there. So since we have our little box, this will be our game board for our area for like checkers, chess, and things. So what we need to do is we need to figure out making each box perfectly even. I will show you a chessboard to help explain how it will work. So let me go grab a chessboard. Here we go. This is like a multi-game thing, but as you can see, it is 8 by 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we will need to make sure to evenly put 8 squares on each thing. So if you do not have a chessboard with you, you might want to try to get one. It will be a little bit easier to follow along this. But I will pause the video so you can go ahead and get it. Okay, so if you have your chessboard, it will help you go along with this. Don't measure it at the exact points because it's too large. Let me get my ruler. And to make it very even, start at the 4 to go to the 10. And it could also be from here to the 6, but it's a little bit easier to do it from the 4 to the 10. But what you want to do to divide it up is every 7.75 inches, put a little mark. So don't do one here, but then after that, this little mark right here, I'll show it to you. This little tall one, you can barely see it. That's what you want to put a mark at. Then after, wait, no, not that one, this one. Oops. You want to put it at this one. Then you want to put it at the halfway point to the 5. Then at the quarter-way point to the 7 and the 6. And then at the 7. Then back up here. Then here, the halfway point of the 8. The quarter-way point of the 9. So the halfway point of the 8, the quarter-way point of the 9, and then the 10, there will already be a line there. So, yeah. Anyway. Once you have put all those points out, what you can do is you can use the ruler to draw straight lines at each and every point. So, 1 here. One here. One here. One here, and then so on and so forth. I'm going to pause the video while I put the rest of these lines in. Okay, so I have 6 even and slanted lines, or not slanted, even and straight lines. But what we want to do now is we want to get the points for this side done. And this one will be a little bit different because it's not perfectly the same. It's about a ½ inch more. It goes from, let's see, 4 to 10 to just about exactly 10 1/2, as you can see. So we're just going to do this one a little bit differently, and I'll explain how. Okay, so what we want to do is going to be 0.8 inches. It's not going to be perfect squares, but they're going to be more like rectangles. So what we will do is we're going to start at the 8th point, which will be about here. Because you can start counting these, not the very short ones, but the ones right above it. And you can go to right here. And then after that, you will want to count again, which will be about in the same point, but one before it, which will be right about here. And you're gonna wanna keep counting up to the 8 points. So like these little short marks are like, so 8 and then, or 8 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're gonna do that for all of them. But besides that, after you're done putting that, you can put the little marks, and I'll be back in just a moment having all the marks there. And then once you are done putting down all the marks, make straight lines, because that's the point I'm going to be at as soon as I unpause the video. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, so I now have my 8x8 grid, and we are going to go ahead and now fill in the squares that will be black. So what we will start out, we won't color them in all completely. We will start by just having little scribbles on the sides like this. So I'm leaving this one white, but I'm gonna have the two next to it right here, and I'm gonna scribble on them like this. And then I'm gonna keep going diagonally from all of that, and I can only go diagonal, I can't go straight or anything. And I'm gonna have it all filled in, and so when I'm done, I will color them in, and then I'll have my squares. And I'll be back in just a moment showing you that. Okay, as soon as you're done with the chest thing, go ahead and put it onto the box and write its name. You can do it by just matching the side and taping it. And I just want to say one quick thing. I lost the video footage twice because this is the third time I've had to record this part. And I realized that I lost it the first time once I had finished the box. So don't worry about you missing anything about the box. It's going to be perfectly fine. So what we want to do now is we want to take a piece of paper and cut it along. And you're going to need to do this twice, just so you're aware. I'm only going to do it once to demonstrate, but I will have a finished product as soon as I am done. So we'll cut it as we normally do, around to match the sides. And then if you know how to make a square out of this, you know how like you fold the triangle, so that's what you want to do. So let's figure this out real quick. Okay, so now that we will have our square as soon as I'm cutting this line. And now we have our square. We will cut strips like this. They can be as thin or as thick as you want. It really doesn't matter, though it will look better if they are thick. I mean thin. Thin, not thick, thin. I'm gonna have mine fatter just so I can demonstrate how this goes with the weaving. So what you do is you take the strips from one piece of paper and put them all in a row, and you'll take the other strips and weave it through. Like as you can see, like it will go like this piece of strip is going under a strip, then over a strip, then it will go under a strip, and then over a strip. And what you would do is while you're doing that, you would tape it, and it will help keep your thing together as you're weaving the other strips. So like for example, and then after that you would flip it over, tape it, and let me move, this is kind of difficult for you to see. Yeah, there you go, like that. And what you do is you do the same thing with all of the strips. So you take one piece of paper, lay it out with one piece of paper strips and lay it out, and then take the other pieces of paper strips and like do the same thing except do it backwards. So instead of going over under, it's under over. So you would move it like this. So you see that, and then it would kind of like stay together better. But it's easier to tape it when we're in this case. So like for example, like it's going over, under, and then I'll just put this in to give more of a demonstration. Hold on. And then, so I would have this here, so it'd be like over, or under, and over, under, over. And that, you would do that with all of the strips until you have it completely put together. But that is what you do to weave. And I hope you enjoy this part. So, because weaving is a lot of fun. This isn't the end of the video, in case you're wondering. I don't know why I said I hope you enjoyed. But anyway, go ahead and weave that, and we'll be back in a minute to put it on the box in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. So what I did is I turned the rectangle into the square, and it made it much easier to put it together. So you should do that too. So if you were able to do it with the rectangle, that is awesome. But this will be a little bit easier to do. So I just thought of one more thing I might show you. With the thing, I put on each side, I put the names of the game. So like this would be chess and checkers. This would be an extra table. And this would also be an extra table, but reserved for bananagrams. And this right here, we will tape on. And we will say that it is a extra game board. Like this, extra game. So that will help mark out what each side will be. So we have 2 more sides to fill up, which I will explain what we will be putting on these next episode, because this episode's been, we've done a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you can. And if you can share this YouTube channel with anybody else, that would be great. So anyway, see you later guys. Bye.